High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
All right, here we are. Good Wednesday morning. Taylor Burnett talking to you once again. HPTC Talk Show is what Katie said. I was corrected when I said, I don't even remember the name. Once again, corrected by those around me. It's just the way things roll all the time. So I've got two guests on today. I usually like to do this. I usually like to bring the newer people on and just talk about things. I give them a little bit of time. One of them's had really not much time at all, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I usually give the daytime instructors 6 months, but your weeks probably feel like months, so I'm going to act like you're 6 months, even though you're not. But I'm going to let you two introduce yourselves and what you do, okay? Go ahead.
All right. I'm Caren Alvarez. I am a safety instructor. So specifically, like, more of what I do is
The wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're learning the wind side right now.
Yep.
More first, okay?
I'm Drew Hunter, and I'm health and safety.
Mm-hmm.
Teach a lot of health classes all around the area, CPR, first aid, ACLS, PALS, that type of stuff.
Pals. We just want to say pals more than anything. So here we are. We're going to talk about things because, we're bringing people on. We're doing different things. And these two epitomize what High Plains is all about at times. Because I'm going to say this, Caren, where did you get your start in the wind industry?
In Jack's class 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. And believe me, I say weeks turn into months, months turn into years because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, right?
Right.
So you went to Jack's class 5 years ago. What did you do outside? Because we know you got a job. Because you had a job before you even graduated, correct?
Correct. So I got hired on with NextEra, and I was with them all throughout the 5 years.
That's what I thought.
Started off as a travel tech, and then I transitioned into a site tech over in Sealing, and I was just there the remainder of my time.
You enjoying the less commute right now, right?
Oh, yeah. I have like a 5-minute drive now, and it's so nice.
It is a little different. So Caren got her start there, and that's the crazy thing is now that we have some people, 3 of our wind instructors have actually came through our full-time program because they see the value in what it is, and that's the coolest thing. So Drew's too old. He's not in wind, but Drew, tell them a little bit about your background.
So I actually started like Caren started. I started at High Plains. Brenda Hunter in 2007, 2008. I took a CNA class out at High Plains. With actually Zeke Holford was in there. Another instructor at High Plains. We both were in the CNA program, and kind of from that, my career went from CNA. I was a CNA at Stillwater Hospital when I was in college at Oklahoma State. And
Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
We can still say it, even though we're horrible. We can still say that.
Go Pokes. And then have went through Northwestern nursing school, moved from Enid to Oklahoma City, predominantly worked at Oklahoma Heart Hospital for about 10 years down there, doing everything from ICU to ER to PCCU to neuro ICU, and then got my master's in nursing a couple years ago and was looking for an opportunity to branch out from bedside nursing, and went through and got the ER director job here at the hospital here in Woodward, and was there for a couple years, 2.5 years, and High Plains called, and it was time to make the leap and the transition to teaching full-time, and couldn't be more excited.
Because you did a little bit of it before
Yes.
at Northwestern as well.
Yeah, I taught at Northwestern. I would teach their RN students that go to the Woodward campus. I would teach them lab on Thursdays and clinicals, and so had a little bit of background in teaching, but
not as much.
Not
like you've already tripled that in the little
absolutely.
time you've been there. So, Caren, what's the difference that you have witnessed coming from the side that you are on? You're on a wind site. You're a wind student on the part of a student, and now here you are, the instructor. What's the biggest change and leap with that? Because you're still learning. I mean, that's the other crazy thing. I'm still learning at my age as well. So you still kind of are also.
Yeah, definitely still learning. I'd say the biggest change is like, I don't know, realizing that I'm instructing now. And like,
Everybody's looking to you.
Yeah, and I used to be the student and I was like so ready to get out in the field and like start my new career. And I'm like, wow, like now I'm teaching people who like I used to be in their place.
Yep.
So like that's really exciting because I know how exciting that is. And it's a really good job, especially to get your foot in the door. And it opens so many doors for you. Not just wind, yeah.
The cool thing is, because you're just starting out. I mean, yes, your background is wind, but wind is very safe, and we're going to branch you out more than just this as well. But the crazy thing is the thing I love about what all our instructors do, everything that they, teach, you're saving lives. You're teaching people something that can actually save a life. And guess what? It's not always work, because where do most injuries occur?
At home.
At home, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, most injuries occur at home. There's situations that arise all the time. And it really doesn't hit you until you hear those stories when you have someone out in the field that'll give you a call. I mean, I'm sure you've already probably witnessed that with some of the stuff you've done. I mean, in the hospital as well. But it's just it's that aha moment and go, yeah, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm in it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's been the biggest transition for you, Drew, coming from college and teaching, and now you're really full-time teaching? Because Drew's getting thrown into the fire more than Caren. Caren's teaching adults. Drew, you've taught what lately?
I was actually listened to this radio show the other day when I was sitting in Balco, Oklahoma.
There you go.
Sitting in the Balco Public Schools parking lot, waiting to go teach first aid and CPR to their TAP students. And so I've really branched out. Last week I was also in Turpin, teaching first aid and CPR to their students. I think the footprint that High Plains is now making. Obviously, High Plains had a big footprint in Woodward County. Everybody knows High Plains, but now that the fact is we're branching out into Beaver County, working with the folks out there is huge. Last week I sat down with the CEO of Beaver Hospital, Alyssa, and had a really good conversation about what's the future look like for Beaver Hospital, and how does High Plains integrate into that program? How does High Plains propel Beaver Hospital further? Because unfortunately, we live in a time where rural community hospitals are closing their doors or shutting down.
It's such a shame. It's so sad.
And staffing is so hard to find. And so just working with Alyssa and working with the folks at Beaver Hospital to figure out how do we get you employees? How do we train students to send them your way? I think that's our next step, is just trying to figure out how to staff these smaller rural hospitals that, are desperate for help.
And, because you got to grow your own, you got to keep your own, and that's what we hope that we can attain there. Because you talk about a true partnership, in my opinion, and that is a true partnership, is the Beaver County Hospital. I mean, the Beaver Hospital, it really is. Alyssa's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That she wants to help us as much as we want to help her. And we've had things there. We want to have more things there. I hate more than anything, we had our last CNA class that didn't make there, but
right.
We're coming up with different alternatives and different motives and different ways to present, and that's the cool thing about that. So, Caren, when you were as a wind tech, what was the one thing? Did you like troubleshooting, or did you like doing maintenance, or what's the one thing you didn't like to do, and what was your favorite thing? Because you were on a GE platform the whole time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first 2.5 years I was traveling and I was doing maintenances on like several different platforms, and that's what all I did. So I got real tired of that pretty fast. So anytime I had a chance to like troubleshoot, I would be like, please, like, let me troubleshoot so I can
learn.
Yeah, so I can learn and just do something different. But once I became a site tech, I did both. And I would say, I don't know, anything to do with like oil was I did not enjoy that. Like if there was like faults and we were like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure the gearbox just split. I was like, no, I don't want to go there because then you have to climb an oily tower. So that was like my least favorite.
Okay.
I would say my favorite was, I don't know, anytime like I figured out a hard troubleshoot, like it was just, it's a good feeling.
Satisfying.
Yeah, it's a win. So
I get it. I get it. And those that don't know, some of those turbines you loved, probably on site. Some of them you probably hated because they were never cooperating and never running, right?
Oh, for sure.
So did you, like Jack would always talk about, he'd have different names for different turbines. He wouldn't call them Tower 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you have some names for some of them?
Oh no, we just like, we'd be like,
You just
oh,
knew.
that's 110. That 110 doesn't have a climb assist. And like I went like a year without having to climb it. And then they sent me to it and I was like, dude. Ugh.
And here it is. Caren is a runner and exercises all the time and didn't want to climb. So
Yeah.
Drew, you and I would be way out of luck as far as that is concerned. So Drew, when you talk about the medical field, because the cool thing is, folks, I've got the number 1 and number 2 growing occupation all the time sitting next to me when we're talking about these two things. And these two things are at High Plains Technology Center. When you think about medical field and the growth and the progression that things are going, where's technology going to go when it comes to anything stuff like this?
I think that the medical field and it kind of escalated with COVID, and it propelled it forward faster than probably was intended. But telehealth,
Yep.
the telehealth aspect of medicine, where you can jump on and have a virtual visit with a physician, because like everybody knows, we don't have access to neurologists and urologists and all the ologists that aren't coming to Woodward or Northwest Oklahoma. You can jump on a computer or an iPad and be face to face with your whomever in Oklahoma City or Dallas or wherever your specialist is. And I think just technology is in health are integrating, and COVID definitely furthered that along. But I think that's where it's going, and you have students who and I'm not a technology person, but you have the younger generation who's coming in, or they can figure out how to run an app super quick and troubleshoot technology super quick. And so I think that's where we're going to. I mean, medicine is evolving all the time.
Do you think that that's some of the downfall of maybe possibly the rural, hospitals, and not only the staffing aspect, but the ease and the availability of some of the telehealth and telemed?
Yeah, I mean, even at Woodward Hospital, we had a teleneurologist, we had telecardiology, we had telepulm, so we had access for patients to all those specialties that, frankly, you're not going to get a neurologist in Woodward, Oklahoma. If somebody's having a stroke and they come to the ER, we can bring out a cart and you're face to face with a neurologist who's calling the shots,
Which is great.
which is phenomenal.
I mean, because you're right, we're not.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with saying
Right.
that. Beaver, Oklahoma
No.
definitely is not.
Right.
With things and they know their limitations, because we've seen those with that Buffalo Hospital, that Beaver Hospital. Those are two things that we're really fighting for, as well as that Woodward Hospital. And Shattuck is a partner of ours.
Right.
They're out of district, but they are a partner of ours that we really want to help thrive, because folks, if you don't understand, we're really trying to make this work when it comes to Northwest Oklahoma and keeping these things sufficient, because we do have to be self-sufficient with things. And like I said, we know there's going to be more turbines. Hopefully there's more things in the medical field. So real fast, what's been the number one shock to both of you? We'll start with Drew. You've talked a lot. I'll give you again, then I'll let Caren close it out. What's been the number one shock to you, because you knew a lot about High Plains? What's been the number one shock to you coming over into working with us?
I think the number one, day one, biggest shock factor I got was just the total volume of hands that High Plains reaches, and the amount of students and the amount of people that are coming in and out of Woodward strictly to go to High Plains. You have people up there at the ETC that are coming in from all over the United States,
Yes.
all over South America,
Yes.
coming to Woodward, Oklahoma.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just think just the amount of people that High Plains deals with on a day-to-day basis is just absolutely unreal.
That's cool because we talk about it, but no one really understands it. So, Caren, what's been the number one thing for you?
I'd say probably like how welcoming High Plains. Like I already knew you guys were, but like from the very beginning,
How great the bosses are is what you're saying. Man, way to go. You might get off today. I mean, you might not have to work the rest of the day. Great deal.
No, I'd say it's just like one big whole family. Like there's already been like several instances where I'm like, wow, like this, it's
no question.
crazy. Like I don't see this anywhere else. And I think that's what it
makes you love it.
Yeah.
So, and I want to say to both of you, glad to have you both on. We're ready to see where the future is going to go with you both as well. And we are blessed, and let's continue working for Northwest Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
All right. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you next week.